Okay, yeah, I started to make a video talking about me and Sadie Valcovitch, so her family and friends actually know the truth. So I'm starting over from scratch. I'm deleting the first video because some lady piled up. I gave up my coordinates, and I didn't want to. Okay, because what really happened? Who really and why my best friend, and only my best friend, not my lover, just my best friend, Sadie Valcovitch, was killed in the Bahamas. A person that I recruited with Robert John O'Neill filled me in. He found out yesterday on the truth. The people I worked for the United States government wanted to get rid of me because I was tied to two governments on United States soil. I worked for the United States government as a solo op, expendable asset. Yeah. In other words, I volunteered to work for the United States government so they could say I don't work for it. Pretty much. Yeah. Is exactly what I'm looking at here. I just bawled my eyes out from finding out the truth about my friend Sadie Valcovich's death. I'm probably going to bawl my eyes out again. Because I'm going to tell you why Sadie Valcovitch defected from Russia to come work for the United States. Oh. And here's the truth on it. The two people that were directly over me in strategical defense, Jane Fisher and Robert O'Neill, trying to kill Sadie Valcovitch before I met her. I didn't know it. I was not informed in any way that a Russian asset was on United States soil, operating. A female Russian asset. Now, this is the twist. I was childhood friends with Robert O'Neill. His grandparents lived a block behind me. And, me and Robert go back to fucking... Fuck. When I was like the age of fucking 5, 6. Still in preschool. How far me and Robert go back. Now, Robert went to work for the government, same as me. The only difference is, government says he does work for him. Government says, I don't. Because me and Robert, we went to the government, worked for the United States government on two different aspects. I went to work for the government before I was ever tied to reservation government. Before I ever was crowned the king of the Blackfoot, Cherokee, Blood, Crow, and Apache that I am no longer king of. And I was just informed the person I wanted to take my place as the king was taken out by Robert O'Neill. Robert O'Neill killed the reservation king. Yeah. The United States government had just killed the man who I wanted to replace me as the reservation king. Now, the crown wasn't properly passed off. The passing of the torch of me being king to him was not, and I mean 100%, was not properly yet fulfilled in the passing of me being king to him. And terms was for him to be king, something happens to him, crown comes back to me. In other words, I'm back to being the fucking king. And I really didn't want to be king anymore of those tribes. Because one, I'm not full-blooded Native American. I'm only like a very, very small fragment of that. Of the Blackfoot Cherokee. Yeah, I know how to speak the language. And they took out the man I wanted to take my place as the fucking king. Of every tribe. I wanted him to unite the tribes, and he did. Coming up, take my place as the king. Because I wanted all the reservations. Every reservation within 48 states to be under the rule of one king. One Native American king that can unite all the tribes. Because my plan was to run for president of the United States. I couldn't do it as the king of those 5 tribes. I was not allowed to run for president of the United States as long as I was the king of the Blackfoot, Cherokee, Crow, Blood, and Apache. Couldn't do it. Too much power. One man to have, because those two governments, they don't like each other. They hate each other. 300 years of fucking hatred. And my plan was simple. To end 300 years of hatred between the United States government and reservation Native American government. And my plan was run for president. After I was removed from the throne. Well, after I was removed as king of those 5 tribes. And I wanted one man that was the most respected chief that all the tribes, and even feuding amongst each other, respected. Well, that man's dead. Robert John O'Neill of SEAL Team 6 has taken him out on Jane Fisher's orders. Yeah. But that brings me back to my friend from Russia, my best friend, my female best friend, because I saved her life from Jane Fisher and Robert O'Neill's hired gun. Now, I'm going to explain what I mean. Who they hired, what they hired to take out who became my best friend from Russia, Sadie Valcovitch. So, bear with me, folks. We're getting down to the nitty-fucking-gritty, okay? Nitty-gritty, motherfuckers. Nitty-gritty. I did not know Sadie Valcovitch was a Russian asset, KGB, operator in the United States. Now, like I said, I was childhood friends with Robert O'Neill. Okay? I had another set of friends I ran with, too. And those other friends, I don't know what you know about witchcraft, I don't know what you know about spiritual energy. Okay? Like Harry Potter. Okay? Harry Potter. Sadie was of the Russian Bazaar. The Russian Bazaar is Russia's version of Harry Potter people, you know, Hogwarts is what the Russian Bazaar are. Wiccan is pretty much Hogwarts. Yeah, Harry fucking Potter, okay? Sadie Valcovitch was of the Bazaar. And she was running with some people I knew that were Wiccan. Witches, wizards, casting spells, doing witchcraft, putting curses into putting enchantments on people, shit like that. I know a lot of you don't believe in this kind of shit, but I'm telling you, a lot of this shit is actually real. Because now, Wiccans are not the strongest. They're literally Wiccan witches. Wiccan. Witchcraft, like wizards, witches, they're at the lowest of the totem pole of spiritual kind of magic, you know, belief in, you know, magic. They're the lowest. Now, next up is the Bazaar. Bazaar right there. They're like second from the bottom. Okay? They're not the weakest, but they're still not the strongest. And Robert O'Neill, Jane Fisher knew this. So they went and hired third from the top. Black magic voodoo priest. Now, Wiccans, they need a whole fucking bunch of people of their practice to beat a black magic voodoo priest from Jamaica, Africa, shit like that. Black magic. Okay? And the only people that can beat them without having a fucking whole organization of the same fucking type of what you call magic type of people. I practice, you know, pretty much spiritual magic, summoning demons, summoning, you know, enchantments and shit like that. Yeah. Voodoo priests are right there in the fucking middle. Above them, Gypsy. They're second from the top. Yeah. And for people that are of bizarre magic kind of folk, and Wiccan, which is Hogwarts, they need a covenant. They need to have a whole bunch of them to beat one voodoo priest. It takes a voodoo priest to beat a voodoo priest. But if you go up higher and you go to gypsy, which I'm not, they can beat a voodoo priest easily. No problem. You know, like fucking swatting a mosquito practically. But these Wiccans, who Sadie Valcovitch of the Bazaar was running with, did not bring her while she was under attack of a black magic curse on her soul, causing her body to wither and become sick and slowly killing her through her soul. They didn't bring her to a gypsy priest. Because the Wiccans I ran with that practiced witchcraft, no, I wasn't a Wiccan witch. I wasn't a wizard. I wasn't any of that. I was way different. Because right at the top is medicine man, shaman. A medicine man is right there at the top. And when they brought her to me, that's who they were bringing her to, a shaman. See, while I was originally the king at the time in 1999, 98, when she was brought to me under the spell of the voodoo priest, I was known as Shaman King 4 moons. I wasn't just the king of those 5 tribes. I was a medicine man. The highest and strongest of medicine men of this day and age. The highest and strongest medicine man on earth. So, what had happened, the Wiccans, I told them when they were bringing her in the end, they said, yeah, we got this problem and we can't beat this guy. He's a voodoo priest. We need somebody stronger than a voodoo fucking priest. And you're the only fucking shaman we know. I was like, so you got a friend that's of the Bazaar, under attack by a voodoo priest, performing black magic. I can handle it. I don't need your help. I just need you to bring the things I ask. And they brought it. I said, I already have one part of it. I'm growing it myself. A cactus called peyote. While they were en route, I cut that cactus up right out the gate because I was going to need it. I was going to need it. No, I really fucking needed it to actually save her. I needed to get peyote. I told them to bring me sea salt, sage, and sandalwood incense. They brought me everything I needed. And because I'm not just a Sequoian shaman, medicine man, I'm also a Christian. See, what you guys don't know about Native American religion, Native American, tribal religion, they only believe in one God. Same as Christianity, Jew, Islam. Yeah. Matter of fact, Sequoian shamans pray to the same God the Christians, the Jews, and Islamic community pray to. Same God. And that God's name in spirit is Jehovah, Allah, Totonka, Yahweh. The one and only true God. One and only true God. So they brought her to me. They sat her on my couch. I took a piece of her hair. And I prayed to Yahweh, granting me the strength to save this person from black magic. Black magic. I lit the candle I needed, and I burnt that strand of hair that was wrapped around sage. I took smoke from my tobacco, which is sacred to Native Americans, and I blew cigarette smoke, tobacco at her. Smokable herbs, marijuana, tobacco, sage, peyote, salvia, all used in the practicing of Native American prayer to Yahweh. Yeah. I said my Bible in front. I did my chant in Native American tongue. And then I drew a salt in my living room. Circle of salt in my living room. Voodoo priest did not know what the fuck happened, because he was in a totally different location with Robert and his wife. Yeah, Robert O'Neill didn't know I had that ability. Had no fucking clue. Because there was a lot of things I never told Robert. Robert was not my fucking best friend. He was a friend. I grew up with him, but he wasn't my best friend. So he didn't know everything about me. One, when you are a medicine man, otherwise known as a shaman, you walk both realms. You have the realm of the living, the realm of the dead, the spirit realm, and what everybody knows that they wake up to after they fall asleep. A medicine man can journey between the threshold of the realm of the living and the realm of the dead. Literally. Because to be a shaman, you're also telekinetic. In other words, psychic. The difference between psychics that predict the future, like gypsy psychics, and a shaman. Shamans, yeah, we can see the future. But we can also talk to our ancestors or help you get a message from somebody in the realm of the dead to you, where you talk to them. And then we gotta babysit you. Because, well, we fucking drugged you up on peyote. Massive amounts. Peyote. Yeah. Because when the peyote cactus is used, it puts you in a spiritual trance that will take you from the realm of the living into the realm of the dead. And you can get your message from somebody that passed away, that had something to tell you. be something they wanted you to know that they couldn't tell you before they died. And what they wanted to tell you went with them into the afterlife. Well, to better explain, I mean better fucking explain everything. This is not the faint of heart. Tobacco is sacred to Native Americans. Tom, you think when you take a fucking puff of a cigarette, right, and you blow it into a Native American of some form of tribe, that you're offending them? No. You're actually blessing. No, seriously. You are blessing them, dum-dum. You're not disrespecting them. You're actually doing the opposite, and you're blessing them. Because tobacco is sacred. Marijuana, not as sacred as tobacco. Tobacco, not as sacred as sage. And sage, definitely isn't as sacred as salvia. And salvia, no. Salvia is just a second from the top of sacred burnable herbs. Smokable, burnable herb. The top of the fucking list of smokable, burnable herb is peyote cactus. Now, you can take peyote, you could tea it to where it's liquid like a tea, like you would with ginseng. Yeah, you do that. And you could tea it, and you could have fucking hallucinogenic fucking capabilities. You fucking sit there and, woo, I see trails. Look at the pink bunny. I see pink elephants. Kind of shit, okay? It's not like LSD. It's not like acid. It's not like Molly. It's actually, and it's definitely not like psychedelic mushrooms. It's actually stronger than all of them. Like, way stronger. Like, really stronger. Okay. You take 5 hits of acid, okay, you're tripping for probably about 8 hours, okay? You take like 2-3 hits of Molly, you're tripping about fucking 17 hours. You eat fucking a whole mushroom, you know, a whole bag of fucking psychedelic mushroom, yeah, you're getting nowhere near the trip you would with the LSD and the Molly. Psychedelic mushrooms is like way at the bottom of hallucinogenic capabilities. The top is fucking peyote. Hands down, the top is peyote. Salvia has the same thing. And it's right in between shrooms and LSD and Molly. Okay? It's like right in the middle of those two. Because Molly's like the second from the top of the hallucinogenic constructs. Peyote's right there at the top. Ecstasy's in there too because of the things that are cut with, such as, you know, acid, you know, LSD acid and Molly. But no one really cuts in peyote for the simple reason peyote, strongest hallucinogenic there is, depending on how you intake it. You tea it, you're having a trip like you took like fucking 3 hits of fucking Molly. 10 hits of acid. Like, you just smoked an entire fucking pound of salvia and you just ate 2 pounds of hallucinogenic mushrooms. Okay? That's teeing it. That's teeing it. That's the weakest version of peyote ingestion. Weakest version. I smoked that shit when I was saving Sadie, because I needed to. I literally had to cross the fucking threshold, so I had to smoke it. And I threw marijuana in that motherfucker. I threw a mixture of peyote, marijuana, salvia, and tobacco, with a pinch of sage. Sage, when you burn it, it purifies places. To burn sage in like a building, you're casting out evil spirits. I took it into my body because I needed to cast out all my inner evils to entrap this voodoo priest in a circle, in a spiritual prayer circle, and entrap him within it, where he couldn't do nobody harm that was in my home. I literally summoned his whole fucking body into that salt circle. Right? His whole body. I didn't pull his soul. I pulled his whole fucking body. I literally fucking teleported him from wherever he was at with Robert and his wife to mine and Sadie location with all the Wiccans. I didn't need their help doing it. Where I got my help was from the spirit realm. The spirit realm. Yeah, spirit realm. Where you go when you die and pass on is where I got my help. Summoning him in that fucking salt circle. That prayer salt circle. Yeah. So, we're sitting there, and he's trapped in it. Don't know how to fucking get into it. And he's looking at them, and he's looking at me. He's all, you Wiccans can't hold me for long. I'm a voodoo priest. My fucking friend Dave, who was the strongest of the fucking Wiccans that fucking brought Sadie valcovitch to me of the bizarre shadow, looked at him, laughed his ass off. He's like, dude, I'm a Wiccan. That person's a Wiccan. That person's a Wiccan. This person's a Wiccan. This is your victim. The guy sitting there, he ain't Wiccan. And we didn't help him bring you here. We didn't help him spiritually transport you here. He did all this by himself. My ass stood up, sitting Indian style. Exactly the way I am. With a marijuana pipe, my fucking hand, loaded. Marijuana, sage, yeah, salvia, and peyote. Oh God, I was tripping balls. Even after I did the prayer enchantment to trap his ass, I tripped balls for about a fucking week. Like, literally was tripping for a week. An entire fucking week. Seeing trails. It's fucking flying. Well, he looks at me, he's like, yeah. I was like, I'm not wicked. I could reach in that circle. He can't come at me from that circle. That circle was protecting me from him doing me any harm. No problem. He was defenseless because I could do whatever I want to him, and I didn't. I sacrificed him. I sacrificed his essence, which that is his soul, to Yahweh, my God. The same God as the Christians, same God as the Jews, same God Yeah, same God as the Muslims. Get what I'm saying? Same God. All right? Stood up. I put my hand on his shoulder. Yeah. He couldn't even move once I put my hand on his shoulder. He was paralyzed. Oh no. Put my hand on his shoulder and I start speaking. In American tongue. To este mahikintano. Hukastaiko. Wastaiko mohede. I moved my hand from his right shoulder, actually. This is my left. Looking at the camera, so I'm seeing kind of a reflection, but I put it on his right shoulder and said my chant. And then I took my 2 fingers and I go, Wahakato. I hit him in his forehead with my 2 fingers. He couldn't move. He couldn't move. His whole body went numb. And he was completely catatonic. Couldn't talk. Couldn't speak. What else he could do? See and hear what was going on around him. What I did was safe shadow from this voodoo priest. After I put my hands on top of his forehead, I reached around with my left hand and I put my hand on the back of his head. Medicine men can do this. Shaman medicine men can do this to you. And I am a shaman medicine man. The strongest of many medicine men. I'm actually the high shaman. I'm the strongest shaman there is. I'm the closest shaman to Native American God, Jehovah, Allah, Totonka, Yahweh. Can't tell you how or why I am. Just know I'm the closest of the shamans to him. Because I'm the high shaman. The highest, strongest medicine man in the world of Native American culture. I put my hand on the back of his head. Start chanting some more. In other words, I told him I was going to eat his soul. Is exactly what I did. Because I took my right hand while I was back behind his head, doing the rest of my chant in my prayer, my chant prayer to Yahweh. Took my right hand and I put it in his chest. My whole hand literally broke what protects his heart, the center mass that holds his rib cage. My hand through it. I pulled out his heart. I reached in and grabbed the voodoo priest's heart. Pulled it out. And I'm still beating. Still beating in my hand. And he's looking. My name is Shaman King. Foremost of the black food. Turkey, crop, blood, and the budgie. And now I am sacrificing voodoo priest to my God, Yahweh. And I ate his heart right in front of him. And I devoured his soul. And says to him, into what we shamans call the bottomless pit. Our stomachs. And then I sent his body back to Robert and his wife. His wife tracked the transporting of his entire body, soul, and everything about him to my house that Robert knew was mine. Sadie, her health came back. She got her strength back. We all watched her go from looking like that to looking like that. Back to health. Because I killed and ate the soul of a black magic voodoo priest. This is why me and Sadie loved each other as best friends. Nothing more, nothing less. Friends. Best friends. Is all we were. Complete best friends. I hear her now. She told me why she did what she did. Why she's dead. And what Blade told me why she did what Blade told me she did. I'm not mad at her. I'm upset that I lost my best friend. Because Robert and Jane were setting a trap to kill me. She wouldn't let him kill me. She sacrificed herself. She sacrificed herself for the shaman who saved her life and became her best friend. Because Jane Fisher and Robert O'Neill were planning on killing the high shaman, the god of Christian, Jew, Islam, and Sequoia. Me. So, to Sadie's family, you're hunting the wrong man. You're hunting the best friend of your family member. So Anna Malvalkovich, Victor, Sophie Malvalkovich, and her father, Sadie's husband, and McElroy. I am not your enemy. I'm your ally. Your enemy is Jane Fisher and Robert O'Neill. I am your guys' ally. Now known to being back to having his original name. Shaman King, foremost of Kabbalah, the city the head, the Christian Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You're hunting a holy man of Kabbalah, the highest holy man of Kabbalah. That message was for Sadie's family and Sadie's friends that followed it over from Russia. Now I got another message. And, I'm gonna make sure this don't hit their phones first. They're gonna hear it, from Sadie's family and friends. Jade Fisher, I'm cutting your head off with a sword I was trained in being able to use from Japan, a katana. And Robert, I'm gonna do to you what I did to that voodoo priest you hired to kill Sadie, that I saved her from, making her become my true best friend from Russia. I'm gonna eat your heart, Robert. I'm gonna sacrifice you to Jehovah, Allah, to Dunka, Yahweh. Just like I did that voodoo priest when his wife brought you to my house that you knew I lived in, that I summoned his body to. When his body reappeared at his home with his wife, with you in it, I'm coming for you. I'm going to eat your soul, Robert. Yours too, Jane. I'm going to eat your soul. You hear me? Your souls, in the end, are going to belong to me. I am going to eat your assholes, and I'm going to cast your soul within the bottomless pit, which that is my stomach, and sacrifice you to Yahweh. Tukasne! Tayo!